Thank you for taking the time to view this ESSA webinar on the accountability system. We would greatly appreciate you providing feedback by using the guiding questions document that was sent with this link and is also on the ESSA page on the OPI website. Please send your feedback to the email address that will be listed at the end of the webinar and on the guiding documents. This is a general overview of what the ESSA Accountability System is and what is required by the law. Therefore, Montana's proposal is as follows. English learner progress. This will be applied to all schools with 10 or more English learners, and the proposed weighting will be 10 points. Statewide assessment proficiency in math and English language arts. This will be applied to all schools with a proposed weighting of 20 points. Statewide assessment improvement. This will be applied to all schools with a proposed weighting of 20 points. 4-year adjusted cohort graduation rate. This will be applied for all high schools with a proposed weight of 20 points. The school quality and success indicator would apply to all schools with a weighting of 30 points. A decision about this indicator still needs to be finalized with your feedback. Based on the points described on the previous slide, here is a general overview of what the ESSA Accountability System is and what is required with identifying schools for comprehensive and targeted support. Based on the feedback from stakeholders and focus groups, the OPI is proposing 3 scenarios for the additional indicator of school quality and success. The scenarios range in complexity. This is the most basic system that relies on attendance and suspension rates for the additional indicator. This scenario has already been built for Montana schools and does satisfy the requirements of ESSA, but it does not include some measure of school climate, which the stakeholders had previously advocated for. This scenario is a little more complex with the addition of a new data collection that would be collected through the revised Continuous School Improvement Plan. Some possible questions are on the following slide. These questions would represent some measure of school climate. These are just some possible questions. They reflect local efforts to improve school quality and some statewide efforts. This could be on a 10-point possible scale, where the local efforts named would count for 5 points, and the statewide efforts that districts can participate in would count for 5 possible points. If a school did not qualify for some effort, example the Montana Digital Academy or the Montana Early Warning System, the points would not count against that district. This is just an example of what is possible. This is the most complex system OPI is considering at this time and adds in college and career readiness as part of the system. The system reflects most of the states that have already submitted plans, examples of accountability from the ESSA law itself, and an amount of ambition regarding an appropriate accountability system for Montana. Many items could make up the measure of college and career readiness, including the ones listed on the slide. This measure would not be a substantial amount of the overall system, but research has shown that some measure of college and career readiness is important for school accountability. Of the 16 states that have submitted their plans, 13 are using some measure of college and career readiness. Please take time to fill in the guiding questions document and send it to Sherry Harlow. Her email is listed on this slide and on the guiding questions document. The OPI will be reviewing these questions and gathering feedback the second week in June. If you have additional questions, please contact either Eric Meredith or Debbie Hunsaker or Brett Carter.